This video will take a closer look at the installation of the Synergy Jeep JK Dana 44 front axle truss. First, you want to make sure the vehicle is in park and the emergency brake is set. Lift the front of the vehicle and support the frame with jack stands. Remove both front upper control arms. Removing the track bar, drag link, tie rod, and steering stabilizer will make installation easier, but it is possible to install the truss without removing these components. Now you need to remove the stock passenger side front axle upper control arm bracket from the axle housing. Using a sawzall or cutoff wheel to remove the bracket will work well. After the bracket is removed, clean up the area using a grinding disc, flapper wheel, or sander. Next, test fit both sides of the truss with the braces included to make sure no additional material removal is required. If the truss fits well, then mark the areas to be welded on the housing. After marking the areas where the truss meets the axle housing, remove the truss and clean the marked areas down to the bare metal. Next, the truss bend seams can be welded together. This is a good chance to verify your welder's settings. Once the axle housing has been cleaned to bare metal, install the passenger side of the truss with the 3 center plates. Make sure the truss is in the correct location. The easiest way to ensure that the truss is in the correct location is to make sure it is pushed all the way towards the center section in the middle of the axle, and then rotated forward on the axle tube until the truss contacts the center section and cannot rotate on the axle tube any further. At this point, the truss should be parallel to the axle housing and meet the cast center section correctly. Tack weld the 3 center plates, 1 tack on each side. Next, carefully remove the truss by lifting it straight up. The 3 center plates should not move. Next, carefully fully weld the center plates. Once the center plates have been fully welded, place both sides, passenger and driver, of the truss back on the axle tube. Tack the truss in several places on each side, alternating sides that are tacked. Once both sides are tacked, you may begin finish welding the center plates to the truss. Next, finish weld the truss to the axle housing. It is recommended to go slowly and do small sections at a time to let the housing cool down between passes and alternate sides. It is very important not to get one section of the axle housing much hotter than the rest. This can result in a bent axle housing. Once the truss is fully welded to the axle housing, place the bushing mount into its holes on the passenger side truss. It is symmetrical and not directional. Fully weld it to the truss. Next, paint the entire axle, making sure to cover any bare metal to prevent rust. Several coats of paint are recommended for this step. Next, press the two upper control arm bushings into the axle. The bushings are pressed in from the driver's side to the passenger side. The bushings will go into the housings until they hit the taper, approximately 1/3 of the way along the outer shell. This is normal. The bushings are an OEM style replacement and have the same dimensions as stock. Finally, reinstall any parts removed from the vehicle in order to install the truss. And then your installation is complete.